Everyone watching wants to know exactly what Chris does.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't worry about us. It's all about this guy.
Out of the three of us, I think Jamie's probably tried the most
whack stuff.
Fad Diets.
Facts. I've done vegan, carnivore, keto. The one that really worked for me was...
Bro, that's a crazy mix.
That's different.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
So if your goal is weight loss and you're at 80 kilos and you do one of these fad diets, the statistic is that you'll be higher than 80 by the end of it because you'll go back to eating worse.
Jesus says when you fast, not if you fast, which means it's almost a commandment.
Experts think that your gut is actually the reason as to why so many people get chronic illnesses. A lot of the time, if people have actual illnesses and stuff, they'll actually recommend they do a fast. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. We're in a different setting today. Another amazing house we have here. Thanks to our sponsors, Getaways.
Yes, sir.
Today is quite an exciting day, actually.
Massive day.
Massive day, not just because of the podcast.
No.
But our friend Jamie here is doing something quite amazing.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. I only found out 5 days ago what was happening.
What are you doing, bro?
Tell us.
So on Saturday night, today is Friday, I got asked to play in the Ronaldinho versus Tim Cahill match.
Bro, that... right. I don't think people understand. Probably people do understand, but that's like a life achievement ticked off. Is to be able to be on the pitch with Ronaldinho is like every kid's dream.
He's one of the GOATs. And like for me and Jamie, who's soccer's been a big part of our whole lives. So to one day think that you're going to play with one of your heroes is very exciting.
Yeah, what would young Jamie think if you were told him this?
Oh, bro, like...
Mama, I made it.
Yeah. I mean, back then I always believed in myself, but I probably wouldn't consider, this sort of thing happening. I was actually saying to people before, even if I had sort of made it as a footballer back in the day, I still wouldn't be able to play in this match because this match is only for Ronaldinho and his team of Brazilian superstars from the past, and then Tim Cahill and his team of Socceroos from the
See
past.
how God
So it's
things
like
together.
So you're playing on the team with the Brazilian All-Stars?
Yes.
Are you like
you're
1/8 Brazilian or something?
I'm not even an inch Brazilian.
Hola, perdona.
That's
idea.
going to be
Portuguese.
absolutely insane. Well, I'm sure you'll carve up. Right?
Thanks,
you'll
bro.
carve up.
I haven't played in a while, but
Do you feel confident, or are you bricking it, or are you scared, or what?
It's one of those things, man. It's like because of preparation, I haven't prepared. I didn't have time to prepare.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no one's expecting me to be a pro soccer player.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, oh, he's a YouTuber. He'll have some fun on the pitch. I'll do some step overs, and that's it. So the fact that they even asked me to go on means like just have a good time and help raise awareness for this game.
I think it's a blessing in disguise that it's kind of like your expectations quite low.
Yeah.
So if you actually do even decent,
Yeah, if
everyone's
you do
gonna be
anything.
shocked. Yeah.
If you touch the ball, everyone's like, whoa.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm gonna start off
sick.
simple and then we'll see what happens. I'll definitely do a few fun things.
Awesome, bro.
Well,
You'll definitely carve up.
Talking about sports and fitness and health, Bayley, maybe you can introduce the episode for today.
Yeah, 100%. I think this one's going to be super exciting. I'm keen to hear your guys' perspectives on things. But what we're going to do is break down the things we've learned over the last, I think all of us have been training for over 10 years, being quite into physical activity. We're going to talk about all the different diets we've tried, ones that helped us stay super shredded, ones that didn't work, ones that help us give us a lot of energy. And we're just going to break them down. I'm sure Chris is going to drop a few gems for you guys out there who want to look like him.
Everyone watching wants to know exactly what Chris does.
Yeah, 100%. The
Nothing
guy's
fancy.
shredded 24/7.
Don't worry about us. It's all about this guy.
Bro,
Nothing fancy, guys.
yeah, we're gonna break it down. We've all tried some pretty unique and interesting things that maybe you haven't tried that will give us an edge over everyone else. Whether it's through energy, and that's a big thing. If you're more focused and you have more clarity mentally, you can outcompete everyone. And the other thing is looking good.
I should have worn a tighter
So
shirt
feeling
today.
good, looking good. We're gonna break down what's worked for us.
my shirt
We've learned a few things over the years. So let's jump into it.
I guess before we get to me, out of the three of us, I think Jamie's probably tried the most diets,
whack stuff.
Fad diets,
Facts.
different, experiments, things that he's tried to, manipulate his weight, his diet, his health. So I guess straight off the bat, what has worked the best for you, man?
Yep.
Ooh, what has worked the best for me? So I've done a lot. I've done vegan, done carnivore, I've done like keto. I've done basically everything. But I think the one that really worked for me was keto/paleo.
Okay.
So what that means is basically you're utilizing fat as an energy source. So for me, the reason I did it was because back in when I was in my teenage years playing a lot of soccer for about 9 years, I always noticed that when I'd have a lot of carbohydrates, I wouldn't actually feel good. I'd feel like tired and sluggish. You know how you hear like, oh, before a match, I have like a massive bowl of pasta. For me, it was the opposite.
So you get like a carb coma.
Yeah, I get like hyperglycemic and stuff. And I was always wondering why is this the case? And I realized, or I found out, that I have my family history has a lot of diabetes in it. So my insulin isn't as, I guess, active as other people's, and I can't produce it as well as others. So I had to basically resort the other way. And what I found was when I did do keto/paleo, I had the most energy on the pitch.
Were you okay getting into ketosis?
I was fine, I think. Yeah, it was like I just remember before like my big soccer matches, I'd have like a coconut smoothie. Literally, like just the coconut was the carbs, bit of like a few raw eggs, cacao powder, some peppermint oil.
Bro,
like,
that's
all this
a crazy mix.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah,
I've never
or
heard of that.
even some like tuna and avocado, but like literally no carbs.
all in the smoothie.
No, I like
Well,
separately.
coconut water also has electrolytes, so it's actually
yeah.
another benefit there.
Coconut's carbs, but it's like slow. I think it's slow release. And then after matches, I'd have a bit of a sweet potato, but that's it for the carbs.
So you were doing that for an energy benefit, not necessarily a physical, the way you look benefit, right?
Yes, it was all for
it
energy
both?
and performance. Yeah, back then.
Did you find that it also helped in your work and your like your clarity, mental clarity, not just your your physical?
I'd say so. I definitely did feel a little bit burnt out, but that could have been the training regime I was on. But I just remember, like, anytime I got to play soccer, like tonight, for example, like stay off the carbs, only have them when I need them kind of thing. But now, yeah, it's a bit different. I
Yeah,
think my
so what are
body's
you going to eat
adapted.
before the game tonight? What's
So
after
today-
learning all this?
Yeah, bro, like my body's
I mean
changed,
tomorrow,
you know.
sorry.
Tomorrow.
When is it?
Tonight.
Oh, tonight, yeah.
You're coming. What are you talking about, this guy?
You know what's crazy? Sorry, before you keep going, I'm pretty sure Ronaldo. I read somewhere that he actually doesn't eat on the day of his games.
Really?
And I think he eats. I don't know what exact time it was, but early on the previous night he eats a big meal, and then he doesn't eat for the day of his games. I don't know exactly what his procedure is. Maybe he just hydrates, drinks water, electrolytes.
That's
but
interesting.
yeah, I had read somewhere, and I could be wrong, but I did read somewhere that he doesn't eat because he just feels lighter and he feels just more energized.
I'm
Yeah,
sure he'd
which
have
is
something
strange.
before the game. Because
I
for
thought so
me,
too,
I'm weirdly the opposite to most people. Like, I love having something in my stomach when I play. I can't be on an empty stomach. I can, but it's less comfortable. So today, I basically because I've been experimenting the last few days, I've just had like a smoothie in the morning, like some berries, some protein powder, some oats, and like some almond milk. And then lunch, I'll have like chicken and a bit of rice and vegetables. And then before, I'd say I'll have like banana works for me now, like really well before I have to like train and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And just quickly before we move on, what's the diet that you tried that did not work at all? Because you tried to
Bro, it's going to sound surprising,
Yeah.
but I did carnivore and it worked, but it didn't work.
What does that mean? So you work, okay, quickly, what worked about it and what didn't work?
Okay, so what was good about it was I sometimes have like heart palpitations a lot. It's not from stress, it's just literally just randomly, and that stopped completely. The second thing that happened was I also have like acid reflux, so I get really bad like indigestion. That completely stopped.
Really?
That's
From
interesting.
carnivore?
From carnivore.
Because a lot of
completely.
people have this myth that eating too much red meat, for example, isn't good for your organs and can affect your heart. So that's interesting that you actually had less palpitations and felt internally better.
Bro, I'm just opposite of everyone. I don't know what's going
Jordan
on.
Peterson says he did the same thing, and that's what those side effects got fixed when he did it as
a
well.
lot of people
There you
talk
go.
highly about it. But what was the negatives?
Yeah.
Bro, this is going to sound weird to you, but the negatives were, you know how they say you're going to have loads of energy? I felt the weakest I've ever felt in my
Really?
entire life. Like so
Like
weak.
in the gym or mentally or?
I didn't really lose strength, but just mentally and physically, like I couldn't operate. And I was having mood swings all the time as well. Like
That's
I'm very
strange.
emotionally stable. And I was just like losing it at Nick, losing it at everyone in my team.
Really?
And then the weirdest part was, you know how they say it gets you shredded? I put on weight. I put on fat.
But were you
Really?
eating?
Yeah.
So that's interesting because normally the weight loss that you can create is actually from just the calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
So do you think because you were eating strictly carnivore, you were actually eating larger portions, or you're eating more,
I
and you were
think-
in a calorie surplus?
I think it was because like I was having a lot of butter.
Okay, well,
Like a lot of butter.
that would do
A
it.
kilo of butter to cook the steak.
Literally, but that's what they advise. They
Yeah,
say
they do.
just pump
They-
the butter
they do.
Oh, really?
and just a steak. So I was doing that. But yeah, I don't know. I had a weird experience. Look, would I do it again? Yes, I would reset my body for like, I did it for 6 weeks, by the way.
Yeah.
So I would do it again for maybe a few weeks to reset my body if I wanted. But
Okay, and sorry, before we keep going, between keto and carnivore, what do you think was the main difference as to why keto worked and carnivore didn't? Because they are similar. They have similarities.
I think it's because I was able to like still utilize like vegetables in keto. What I realized was after jumping off carnivore, I didn't want to go straight back into carbs. So I gradually just started incorporating veggies.
Yeah.
And bro, the veggies made all the difference.
There you go.
It was like I
Easy
just
greens.
got back onto keto. So that's what made the difference for me.
Yeah.
So I think the difference is, just that variety and not just being, set on steak all the time.
Okay.
That's mad. All right. Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Nah.
I'm actually waiting for this
Finally.
as well. All right, Chris, give us your rundown. You've obviously been training probably the longest out of all of us and probably had the most success with training.
Yes.
Obviously.
Consistent success.
Yeah.
When this guy goes, I'm fat now, bro. You look the same.
Yeah, he's still got bulging abs.
He's still the most
So
shredded guy.
give us a rundown. What's worked for you? What have you learned over the years?
So I've tried a few things. I didn't do the vegan because I love meat.
You can't give that
fair.
up. Eh?
It's that's
I'm
just
the same, bro.
It's just not for me.
I
You
do
know,
this
You're
6
giving away your
months.
quality of life.
I've done, I'd say almost keto with like very little carbs. And to be honest, in terms of being shredded and lean, that's for me worked the best. Kind of similar to you, Jamie. I find that I can't get super lean on a high carb diet. It just doesn't work. Even if my calories are at the same amount, I feel a bit more bloated. I don't feel lean.
What calories do you aim for usually?
Bro, my calories,
Macros or whatever they call it.
my
macros.
calorie, like my maintenance
Yeah.
is around like 3,500 calories.
All right. Imagine that.
That's my
'cause you're
maintenance.
100
That's
kilos
so
of muscle, bro.
That's just like I'd feel so lucky if that was me.
So, yeah,
my
so-
maintenance is 2.5.
My output's a lot. I train,
Train a lot though, eh?
5 to 6 times a week weights plus 5 to 6 times cardio.
Yeah.
So that in
So you're doing a
itself
lot.
does give me a lot of opportunity to eat what I want.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think for me is less carbs. And even now, like I just went on a Euro trip. I put on 9 kilos.
In
Right?
how
I put on
long?
9 kilos
And we
in a
couldn't
month.
tell. We couldn't tell.
And I've
Still
lost
shredded.
the 9 kilos within a month. And all I
What?
did, what worked for me, and this could literally work for everyone, it's essentially intermittent fasting, right?
Yeah.
So what works for me the best is I have my first meal later, okay? I'll have my first meal at around 1, and then I won't eat again. I'll have a protein shake just after my workout, and then I'll eat dinner. So a lot of people think intermittent fasting is some magical way to lose weight. You're doing intermittent fasting and there's a magic wand and it just makes you suddenly lose weight. It's not the case. Intermittent fasting works only because you have a shorter period of time to eat and therefore you can only eat so much.
Yeah.
People say, well, in those hours, I'll just go ham. You don't though. You have one massive meal. You can't really eat again for a little while at least. And then by the time it's dinner time and then you go to bed. So it's not a magical way to lose weight. You're just limiting the time that you can eat and therefore you're losing weight because you're in a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
So for me, that works the best.
Yep.
I push my first meal. I have a good high protein meal, very minimal carbs, protein shake. And then I'll have I'll have a meat, vegetables, chicken, fish, whatever it is with veggies and maybe a little bit of carbs, maybe a bit of rice.
Wait, sorry, just to get this straight. So you don't eat till 12?
Yeah.
You eat at 12, like
I
lunch?
eat it, 12.
And then you train after?
I won't train. I'll go to work. I'll have work, and then I'll train after. Like I'll have a
what
couple
time?
clients. Obviously, it's got to work with your lifestyle as well. I'm a personal trainer, so I can kind of fit in my lunch and my food around my clients. But I'll train around in the afternoon, have just a protein shake, and then wait for dinner. And dinner, I'll have a little bit of carbs because I find that the carbs that do make you a little bit tired actually help with my sleep.
Really?
So I'll save my carbs to the night,
the
whatever
end.
little bit I can,
Yeah.
and then I'll be able to sleep better because it'll make me tired. And honestly, I would say like your average person that doesn't have any hormonal issues or diet issues, this would work. If you have 2 main meals,
Work for what? Mental clarity, losing weight, or
mental clarity and losing weight.
Yeah.
Look, mental clarity is hard because again, it's case to case.
Yeah.
Some people get fogginess from eating carbs. Some people need carbs to function.
Yeah.
So
So
you've
is
got
there a
to,
way you can? Sorry,
I think you've got to.
is there a way you can test it?
I think you've got to trial and error.
Yeah.
I think everyone in their life should. I'm not saying you have to try every fad diet, but I think you definitely should try a diet that's higher in carbs. Then say, okay, was I too tired? Was I effective? Then okay, let me limit my carbs and go higher in fats and
Bro,
just
that's
protein.
actually
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I haven't
It's
thought of that
quite
before.
simple, but it's just like anything. Try and error. You don't know. Your body is literally so unique to anyone else.
Yeah.
Someone else could say this is what to do and it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
Say as Jamie, he
Right,
said,
that's so true.
I'm the opposite of everyone. So, but generally speaking, if you have 2 larger meals and you don't snack throughout the day, snacking is a really bad one. Snacking is where everyone goes wrong because they have these 2 meals but they're having chips during the day. They're having little sliced bread here, toast there, and then they're not thinking about these extra calories they're putting in. So if you can stay strictly with 2 good meals, and you don't have to hate them. Like I have eggs in the morning.
You have a good diet. You have a good diet. Like that meal you get at the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you get like
Yeah.
chicken teriyaki, like 300 grams sometimes with like bok choy, rice, avocado.
I think a main
That's
thing
mad.
is try to, whenever you can, cook your own food. I know, it's so simple, but you know what's going in. And if I go out, for example, if I have dinner out, I'll make sure I get the steak. I always will get a steak because I know it's just a steak. Even though they put butter and whatever they put with it, I still know I'm going to get a large portion of protein and I can get some vegetables with it.
Yeah.
And that's my 2 meals. And then after that, protein shake when I need. And most people should lose weight on that diet.
Have you been doing that since you've been back from Europe?
Since I've been back.
Back from overseas.
Since
what
I've been
helped you
back,
lose
and
9
mate,
kilos.
That's what lost you 9 kilos.
the weight has just fallen off.
Wow.
The weight has fallen off. And I've done everything. I've tried like counting every macro with carbs, every meal written down, and this by far has worked the best for me.
Yeah, I just want to point something out as well. Like, I don't think the viewers know how hard you work for your body, for your physique, for your health. You know, like this guy's on TikTok live for freaking hours every single night. But you're not just doing your TikTok. You're on the bike at the same time.
That's crazy.
Every
bro.
chance you get, like if you have to do something, like jump on a call, you know, maybe like type something on your phone, you'll always make sure you're doing cardio at the same time.
Yeah, we have our podcast meetings and this guy's at the gym.
Bro,
at the
yeah,
same
like
time.
you're obsessed with like cardio because you know how much like the little things help, and also you don't even realize you're doing it half the time.
I think look, cardio is definitely not necessary. I think physical activity is, whether that means you're at the gym training, you're on the treadmill, or even simply walking your dog. Even walking your dog for 30 or 45 minutes is just good. Not just for your weight loss, but also for your mind. Yeah. It's so good. Everyone's done a walk and they've had some great ideas. You think about different things. You know, your brain starts ticking. So if at a minimum, it's just to get your mind clear and to get your mind thinking about things, it's a plus. But also, if you do want to do it for weight loss, I suggest finding a show. Everyone likes watching shows, right? Whether it's a podcast show, audiobook, whatever it is, make it so that you can only watch that show when you're doing exercise. So I, for example, look forward to exercise because I need to know what's next on the show. It's like left on a cliffhanger. Yeah. So I'm literally like, when can I do my cardio next? Because I need to know what happened in that show.
That's smart.
And it becomes I have to do cardio. It's, hang on a sec, I need to know what's in the show. I'm just doing cardio while I'm doing it. And if you get that routine, you will start enjoying exercise, and it will just kind of work hand in hand. The diet, the training, the mindset, it's all going to work towards one goal, and you're going to find success.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
that's really
I like what
beneficial.
you said
And
about
it's simple.
testing.
It's sustainable. Like you're not doing anything crazy. You're not counting calories. Like I was using MyFitnessPal for like 10, 15 years, and you know, like the mindset where it's every day. You know the mindset where it's like, oh, I can only eat this much every single day, and then like when you hit it or when you're close, it's like you're telling your body you're still hungry even if you're not. So what I found was when I stopped counting calories, and I just started eating because now I know what to eat from all this experience. It's like, oh, I'm not ever hungry even if I'm shredding because I just know what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, you just remind me, sorry, before we keep going, I think everyone should at some point, for a small period of time, actually track their calories, just for even a month or two. It's not a big commitment. Get a trainer or go online. There's free calculators that you can put in a very generic calorie, macros, and just have an idea of what's going in. Because a lot of the times that people, they don't get their results they want is because they're actually not eating what they think they're eating. They think, I get clients all the time, they go, I'm not eating anything. And then I'll ask them, what did you eat today? And they realize, oh shit, like the extra oil that I put in the pan to make my eggs, the extra sauce that I put, the extra little toast that I had that I wasn't really thinking about, or the fruit, for example, they have a whole bowl of fruit after dinner. All these things actually push you into a surplus. So I think if you can just for a month or two, have an idea of your standard diet and what you're eating. And then from there, as Jamie said, do intuitive eating. You know now, okay, if I have 3 eggs in the morning, it's roughly about X calories. I know if my calorie total is X, I know I still have this much for my next 2 meals or my 1 meal. And that way you can kind of have fun with it. Then you don't have to miss out on social settings because you can like go, okay, I'll eat a little bit less in the breakfast because I know I'm going out with Jamie at night. We're going to get a steak and maybe share a bowl of fries or something.
Yeah.
And that way
Is that you and me or me and someone else?
my other mate, Jamie. But you know what I mean? So like it doesn't have to be obsessive. It's got to work with your lifestyle. But I think in moderation, everything in moderation is fine.
So you get an understanding.
Just have an understanding of what's going in
Yeah.
your body, if it is important to you.
Yeah.
If it's not important to you, great.
I hope we overlay a topless photo of Chris on this episode, so everyone's like, okay, now I'm listening.
Actually listen to what this guy
Now,
says.
And guys, before we continue, we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Getaways.
the boys and I are blessed to be partnering up with Getaways, who have some of the most amazing short-term accommodation in the country.
Whatever the occasion, whether it's a cheeky boys trip away or you want to surprise your partner with a holiday, Getaways has got you covered.
And guys, go ahead and check out Getaways on their website or on their social media platforms. We'll be leaving the link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump straight back into the episode.
Now, Bayley, I want to know what you do, because obviously I feel like you're very,
Surfs.
very, not just genetically blessed, but your figure's nice. Obviously, you
Yeah.
worked hard for it, but you also have an extensive history in
do.
for sports, fitness and all these things. So what do you do? What's your secret?
Yeah. And diets maybe.
Mr.
or-
Handsome White Boy over here.
So I'll go on a bit of a different tangent. I usually try and optimize like more so for mental than physical.
Oh.
I have to a degree. I can't lie. Got good genetics. Like I never. I don't.
everything
I don't
about the
track-
bloke.
I am blessed.
In terms of like, I don't have good genetics in terms of bulking and putting on muscle, but I have good genetics as in like I can eat anything as much as I want. I eat way more than my brothers, anyone else, and I stay lean.
But you are
Can I just pause you? Sorry,
yeah, I'm younger.
I'm the opposite of you. I have the worst genetics in that way, where if I eat like a few hundred calories over, stomach fat straight away.
Yeah.
And it could be something I have to deal with. Anyway, continue.
Yeah,
sorry.
no.
Probably
So
got a fast metabolism.
yeah, so I never, to be honest, I've never really gone to the extent of tracking anything. That's why I thought it was beneficial what you said, just so you have an understanding. But I always optimize for mental. And one of the things that's worked, like you said, which was interesting, was I was really curious about what you said about Ronaldo, how he was fasting before games, because I do the same thing. And I think it goes back to the way we're wired, like the way we've evolved over time. If you think back to hunter-gatherer days, when you're hungry, you have to be more alert, because the hungrier you get, the more concerned your body gets that it's not going to get its next meal. So you have to be more alert so you can catch your prey.
Yeah.
So your mental clarity goes up.
True.
So I always try and do that. Like either fasting in the morning or whatever. But the other thing that's worked really well, or that I've tried as like a full reset for me, is a long fast.
How many days?
How many days?
So I'll do like 48 hours.
Wow.
I did a
And is
72-hour
that-
fast
Is
recently.
that no water as well? Or is
No,
that
that's
just
water.
water?
That's water.
What are the benefits of fasting, and then how do you do it?
Yeah, actually, I got the benefits listed because I wanted to make sure I could back it up.
I know the
Nice.
benefits.
Nice.
Because I know it works, but I wanted to know why is it actually happening. So there's 5 things that I've realized that work with fasting, and I looked it up to back up to make sure I wasn't just talking smack.
Nice.
So the first thing, which one of the reasons I really wanted to try is a cellular cleanup.
Cell regeneration.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
cellular cleanup, which helps with anti-aging. So supposedly what happens when you fast is because your body goes into a more survival state, it goes in and kills off any dead cells
Correct. It's
called
that are
autophagy.
taking energy
Yeah.
that's not helping your system.
This is what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because people think that fasting's like your average person, sorry to cut you off,
That's fine.
thinks fasting is just for weight loss.
Yeah.
But the
No.
true reason people do fasting is one of the main reasons
Cell
is
reset.
Yeah.
cell reset.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, if people have actual illnesses and stuff,
do
say cancer or different illnesses,
Yeah.
they'll actually recommend they do a fast
Yeah.
to reset all their cells and try to regenerate their
Because
cells.
the body goes, all right,
Exactly.
what's not helping us right now? We don't know when we're getting our next meal.
Yeah.
Let's kill off anything that's not helping.
And if you've constantly got food going in, the body's too busy
yeah, and it
digesting
gets lazy
and dealing
and
with
it
the
gets
food.
comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the first one. The second one is it boosts brain function. Like I said, I find a lot of clarity out of it and sharpness. The third one would be increased human growth hormone, but potentially, supposedly, the research says up to 5x.
Wow.
I'm not sure on the time frame on that, but you get spikes of growth hormone when you're fasting. I think for its extended periods of time, not just a little couple hour, like
cool.
intermittent fast.
Yep.
The fourth one is heart health and cholesterol and blood pressure. It helps lower cholesterol and blood health because you're not constantly feeding your body with, different nutrients that it has to digest constantly. And then the last one was gut health and guide because it gives your digestive system a long break. Because if you're constantly eating, your digestive system never gets a chance to set. You know how you get sluggish after you eat all the time? If you eat big meals, you're just eliminating that. So your gut has a chance to fully reset and recalibrate.
Experts think that your gut is actually the reason as to why so many people get these really chronic illnesses. And that is the differentiator whether you get it or not.
Yeah.
Say, for example, cancer or some of these really, really bad illnesses,
Yep.
they're linked to the gut and your gut health.
100%.
Which is crazy.
It's very true.
People don't think, like most people, like we're quite well versed in health, but a lot of people don't think about their gut.
Yeah.
They don't care what they're putting in there. They eat junk food and soft drinks and
wonder why they're
processed
sluggish and
foods
got headaches and things.
Did you find like what did you find out of the fast? So you said you did yours for 48 hours. How did you practically do it? Because I also have done a few 3-day fasts, so
Was it
I can
hard?
talk about that.
Yeah,
as well.
it was difficult at certain times where your body would start like really craving food. But
Is there a threshold that you kind of pass and you're not as hungry
yeah,
anymore?
so I think
Kind of.
when you're distracted, so like if I was busy
Working.
focusing on something, it would kind of teeter out, or like I'd just try and have some water to trick my body.
Yeah.
But you are in a constant state of like hunger. But
Yep.
yeah, after a while, it fizzles out. Like 48 hours isn't a crazy amount of time, but by the second day, you definitely feel it. But I don't know, I felt like way more alert, mental clarity, and I felt the benefits. So I'll definitely keep doing that.
So-
But yeah, because did you experience the same thing with 3 days?
Yeah, it was interesting because what I wanted to do was I did it for like health reasons, but also like faith, religion.
I was gonna just ask that.
yeah, spiritual
Because
reasons.
a lot
as
of
well.
people
Yeah.
sorry if we keep going in the Muslim culture and the Christian culture,
Yeah.
there's a big fasting.
Yeah.
It's even in the Bible,
it's
right?
biblical, yeah.
They do fasting, and I was gonna actually ask you to kind of dive into that. What the Bible talks about, how to get closer with Jesus as well, and
Yeah, so I guess like if we're talking about the Bible, like Jesus says like when you fast, not if you fast, which means it's almost a commandment from him to do so. And so what it does is basically, because obviously being Christian is all about denying your faith and following him. So things that we want to do that feed our flesh aren't always bad, but when you sacrifice something like food that we all inherently need to survive, it brings us closer because we're sacrificing something for God. So I did it for that reason. I also did it because it's good if you've got some like spiritual affliction going on. So like they say in the Bible that some demons can only be casted out through prayer and fasting. In some versions
how long
say
did
that.
you do? Sorry,
So I did a 72-hour fast twice.
Just
Actually,
water? Or
So I'll tell you how I did it. I did
beat
it.
you, bro.
I've actually done it. I've done it. My most recent was actually 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And so I wanted to do it so that it was going to be optimal for my health, where I could still sort of do stuff in the day. So do you guys know a man called Gary Brecker?
Yeah.
That human, whatever he's
Yeah,
called,
I know.
the ultimate
heard the
human.
name, yeah.
He's like even Cristiano Ronaldo got him to come to Saudi and assess him. So he actually does these things every year where it's like, do a 3-day water fast with me or do something with me. So I did it with his group. And what his philosophy was that you should actually ease yourself into the fast instead of going cold turkey, because it helps the gut lining. It helps your body kind of like, utilize everything better. So what I did was so what you're supposed to do is you have your meal at 6 p.m. So for me, I had like a big steak and like I home cooked it. So steak, vegetables, some carbs, like a big one. 6 p.m. That's it. Next day you wake up, and what you do, I'm pretty sure this is exactly how we did it. You have bone broth for lunch and dinner. So you skip breakfast and you just have literally bone broth for lunch and dinner, and you pump the salt as well. Heaps of salt, heaps of water, heaps of salt. Then you also have like a scoop of aminos to just preserve muscle mass. So that's day one. It's still bone broth, right? Then like your body gets used to not having solids. So then day 2 comes around, and then you just go hard on the water. So you're just on the water and salt, yeah. So he recommends having like 3 liters of water with like a bunch of salt for every single day. Yep. And then 3rd day, same thing. He recommends go to sleep on the 3rd day hungry, like don't eat yet, and then wake up on the next day and eat. But I usually just end
day
it there.
4.
Yeah. So it was interesting because, bro, like the one I did recently, it was kind of for spiritual reasons and health, but I found that I actually wasn't hungry until day 3.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I
Are you
literally
constantly
wasn't.
thinking about food, or are you so clear that you know that I don't need to eat. So that's one less thing to think about.
The time that you save, bro, without having
Yeah.
to eat is ridiculous.
yeah.
I was traveling a little bit. I was in Melbourne, so I was preoccupied.
Yeah.
But you
It
do
just comes in moments. It'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm dying. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes
I think
later,
when you're bored,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go, oh, I should snack, I should eat.
100%. So yeah, I found a lot of benefit off it. You know, I didn't really. I noticed I didn't lose strength either at the gym,
Really?
which is interesting. Yeah, did you?
Yeah. No, so I think I wasn't training during that time. So during that 48 hours, because I was like, oh, I'm not really sure
Yeah,
if I
for
should be.
Yep.
But what I noticed was, I did the fasting actually for a dopamine detox at the same time. So one of the other reasons why I wanted to not eat was just to reset. So I was like, no social media, anything that gives you that feel good dopamine
You're big
chemical.
on that, the reset.
You love that, eh?
Because, bro, I don't know if you realize, but after I did the 48-hour fast, the first thing I ate was fruit. I had blueberries and
yep.
strawberries.
It tasted
The
10 times
flavor, bro.
Yeah.
It tasted like 100 times.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way a blueberry can taste this good.
And it's the same place.
And it's the same thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing. But
You've
'cause
got to
you're-
ease back into the
yeah,
food.
and
though.
then like the next time I watched my first Instagram reel and I was like mind blown. Like, whoa. So
How
So
good.
you could pretty much do that with everything. Does that also happen with your semen retention?
yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know?
What I think would be super cool is I actually before we did this episode, I did a bit of research on the craziest diets I could find on the internet.
Oh, here we go.
And I wanted to see like what are people actually doing? Like we spoke about veganism, paleo, blah blah blah. I reckon, but I found some absolutely ridiculous.
people
ones.
actually do this.
And people do this. Some of these are
Hit me.
fully
Okay.
viral. Like thousands of people have tried them. So the first one is called the Blue Vision diet.
Blue Vision diet. What's that?
And-
Only eat blue food.
No, so it's based on the theory that blue is an unappealing color.
Blue head feminist diet.
So people wear blue tinted glasses so that when you're eating, the food doesn't look as appealing. So you know you go to eat a
What?
You go to eat a meal and it looks really nice. You're like, oh, look at the
Like a
colors.
dessert or something.
Yeah. So what they do is they wear these glasses and it's blue tinted. So the food doesn't look that good. So you're like, it's because it's actually the dopamine trigger. You know how there's the setting on Instagram where you can make your screen black and white?
Yeah. Just like that.
So it basically kills the receptors, so your brain's not like craving it as much, and supposedly it stops people eating as much because all they see is blue, not the colors of the food.
Is that similar to
Wow.
like when someone like smells a burger and eats an apple?
Yeah, it's probably the same sort of thing. Yeah,
That's
if you're
so
looking at a Macca's meal, it just looks so appealing.
So do
It's
these
all
people, like-
blue, but blue out?
Is this a consistent diet they just never get off?
It's not a diet like they put on
lifestyle.
glasses. Yeah,
So like nothing looks better than the other.
it just all
That's
looks
crazy.
boring.
Bro, but food's like one of God's
Exciting, man.
gifts to us, you know,
Yeah.
like it's pleasure.
That's
Like
nuts.
Well, it's
gives
to
you
help people
pleasure.
not eat, not overeat.
I couldn't do that.
All right, you guys, want to give a massive shout out to Whitey for sponsoring the locker room. If you guys ever need to be looking fresh for an event or a formal anywhere in the world, these guys definitely have the hookup. They also have personalized tailors that can fit your suit custom made for your individual body type, so there's no need to even think about styling yourself in the future. And if you guys want to be looking as fresh as we do out here right now, make sure to go to the link in the description where you can find all the details on how to see how YD can help you change your look for the better. Let's go.
So this diet, I think, is absolutely crazy, but supposedly people have been trying it. It's called the ice diet.
Oh my god.
what?
And
Which kind of ice?
yeah, so basically what it is the theory is that eating ice increases your body has to burn a lot more energy because it has to warm up because it's so cold in your system, your body has to work a lot
Makes
more.
sense.
And
Okay.
it has to, so you eat ice and your body goes, oh, we got to warm this up. So it uses a lot more energy, which makes you burn calories without thinking
They eat
that much.
ice before every meal.
I don't know about before
They
every meal,
just
just
eat ice.
consistently. They're eating ice, so it makes them feel a bit full, but your body supposedly has to work a bit harder to burn it off, so they burn calories.
What? Is that like the Wim Hof diet or something? Or
No.
I don't know, something
Maybe.
crazy like that.
you're talking about eating ice, like the edible
ice.
cubes
Yeah,
in the fridge, right?
cubes
Not
out
the
of
other
the-
thing. All right. Because I'm sure the other one has the same effect.
That's wild. Like
Yeah.
if you think about it, it does kind of make sense.
Yeah,
Like
theoretically,
theoretically,
I don't
it
know
makes
if it's
sense,
true, but
I don't know how effective it
Yeah.
is in terms of overall fat loss and burning calories. Looking at this list, I think this diet is a little bit stupid. So it's called the Sleeping Beauty diet,
okay,
and essentially
I'm interested.
Sleeping
the
Beauty.
theory is that you can't eat while you're asleep. So the goal is to sleep as much as possible.
What? Bro, I think that would work, bro.
What
If
are you
can't
talking
stop
about?
eating-
So they will sleep most of the day. So then when they wake up, they don't like they can only eat for like
just
a
do nothing
few
with their
hours
lives.
and then go back to sleep.
They just do nothing with their life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't account for anything else in their life in terms of goals, business, family, anything.
If your sole
Your
goal
sole
is to lose
goal is
weight,
to lose weight.
and you can't stop
That's a
yourself
sad
eating,
existence,
That is
bro.
a sad existence.
That's
You're
crazy.
literally gonna do
Sleep
nothing with your
14
life.
hours, 18 hours a day. Wake
Yeah.
up, eat, back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm shredded.
What the
I
hell?
reckon that would work.
Look,
If I was a freaking
technically
koala, I'd like
could
it.
work because in terms of like you being you being a calorie
Well, you wouldn't be
deficit,
eating.
but
That doesn't sound healthy long term.
it doesn't sound healthy in every other aspect of your life.
Bro,
people-
sleep's mad with like, you get an 8 hour sleep. But if you have to sleep, it's just, why would you force yourself to
Yeah.
do that? You
Well,
can't even sleep for the whole day anyway.
I think that's wild.
Yeah.
I think
Unless you have that one meal that gives you a food coma for the rest of the day and you just suck
I
it out
don't
on
I don't
repeat.
recommend that to you guys.
All right, so I found out about one of the craziest diets in the world that people actually live by. And it's called, wait for it, the raw vegan diet.
Wait, so
vegan.
It's vegan, but it gets worse.
But it gets better
I
apparently.
mean, better.
It's raw dog.
So raw vegan means you have to be vegan, but you also can't have anything cooked.
So only raw
So
vegetables.
everything has to be raw.
What?
So what the philosophy is that when you cook food, it decreases the nutritional value in the food that you're consuming.
Okay.
So you're only allowed to have literally raw stuff or things in like a blender or a dehydrator, because dehydrators only cook something under a certain level of heat.
You seem like you know a lot about this.
Yeah,
Have
did you
tried
try
it?
this?
I didn't try it, no, but
friend of
I
mine
did
did.
I did research into it 10, 15 years ago.
You were thinking about doing it.
Some people, I know a few people that actually have done it for a while.
I know
So,
people.
so that's a crazy
That's
diet.
crazy, bro.
Yeah. So, what would you eat? You'd eat like a lot of like
just carrot off the stick.
carrot
Yeah.
off the stick.
Bugs Bunny, bro.
So everything you would eat when you were vegan, just you can't
Cook it.
heat
now,
or
now
cook
you
it
can't
up.
cook anything. Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's
That's
mad.
awesome.
Yeah. Why don't you try it out sometime?
Honestly, I'm good. Anyway, I think we've gone through some interesting
Yeah.
diets.
Covered
We
a lot.
have.
I've
To be
learned
honest, flat out statement, I would not suggest any of those last few things that we said.
Neither would I.
heaps. Nah.
They're
But if,
strange,
but if
they're
you've
fun.
tried them or you know someone who's tried them, let us know.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it
let us
works.
know. Look, to be honest, in my opinion, I think the diet that works is the one that you can stay on for as long as possible. That takes into consideration your lifestyle, your culture, who you are, your work, everything. If you go into a fad diet and do it for a couple months, stop, then do another one, stop, then do another one, you're not going to get anywhere, one. Two, the statistic shows that you actually end up putting on more weight than you started with.
Yeah.
So if your goal is weight loss and you're at 80 kilos and you do one of these fad diets, the statistic is that you'll be higher than 80 by the end of it because you'll go back to eating
Really?
worse.
Yeah.
You do it for a few weeks, you
true.
starve
And you
yourself,
probably,
whatever.
probably let yourself slip a bit because you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I was
if-
disciplined, so now I can.
Because it
eat.
feels
Yeah.
unnatural. You're not used to it. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
Something. So to answer your question, I think something, in my opinion, is everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. That's protein, fats, carbs. Obviously, if you're a vegan or vegetarian for different reasons, I respect that. But if you're a general person who can eat most things, I think everything in moderation. Have your proteins, have your carbs, have your fats, but just have smaller portions. So that way you're having everything. That means if you go to a dinner, you can eat with your friends. You can go with your girlfriend. You can go with your family, whatever it is. And you're not going to exclude anything. And you can do that for the next 10 years because there's nothing that you're missing out. If your favorite thing is gelato or KFC, eat well the whole week and give yourself that KFC at the end of the week.
Little
And that
reward.
way you can do that for however long.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you do
There's an
these
end in
limiting,
sight, yeah.
if you do these limiting diets for a specific reason to lose weight or feel better, you're not going to be able to do that for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's good
And
advice,
you're going
bro.
to fall
I like
out of
that.
the diet. So
Yeah. Coming
that's
from the
what I
master.
leave. Well, yeah. No, but that's what
I
I've
agree
found
with you.
works.
I agree. And I'm the same because obviously I've gone down extreme routes, even veganism I've done. And I think that you're right, Chris. Like everything in moderation because the food that you're having, unless it's obviously ultra processed or sugar, isn't actually the enemy.
Yeah.
It's about like your mindset because you're instructing your body on what's bad for you as well. So you're mentally telling your body, oh no, I'm having this, that means it's bad. And your body will actually think it's bad because
Yeah.
you're thinking about it as well. There's a mind placebo effect involved. But yeah, I agree with you. I think just everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
All right, well, that was a banger episode as always. I learned a lot. I'm sure you guys out there did as well. And yeah, if you want to find us online, we are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and on all audio streaming platforms as well. And we'll see you guys next episode. And by the way, wish me good luck for my game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
Let's go.
Thanks.